Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. If all is going well, then this will be the return of my professional games series, where I review professional games on a real board. Thanks to your wonderful support over on Patreon, we are going to be doing this at least every other week. Going to be going over some games that I haven't gone over anywhere else, haven't gone over during my lectures, because, can't always do lectures on every single game you might want to go over. But there are still a lot of games that are definitely worth going over. This is one of them. Right off the bat, you may know, actually you might not, I haven't uploaded the lecture yet, but if you were at the lecture, or if I upload it first, then you may know that Black is a very strong, very young Korean player. He is a professional 3-dan. His name is Shinjin So. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. I'm sorry. And unfortunately, his opponent, White, can't pronounce that even worse. I'm not even going to try. Suffice to say, they're two very strong professional players. You can see their names down below. I'll have descriptions and probably links to their profile, something like that, so you can check them out. Black, I wanted to catch to your attention. White, on the other hand, also deserves some praise, because where White may not be aware of him, Black may be aware of him now. But this game, White shows us that there's more than one young professional player out there who deserves our watching. So I hope by the end of this game, you also agree that he is definitely a player you want to have on your radar. Definitely want to check out whenever you find his name popping up under recent games lists. You definitely want to check him out as well and see how he is doing. Because these two people, man, if they aren't destined to be 9-dan professionals, man, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked. I mean, that's not always the case. Not always the case. For example, everyone knew Gu Li was going to be. Kongji took a little while longer, but everyone's reasonably certain sooner or later he was going to get 9-dan. This guy, maybe he's one of those that just can't quite get there. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he does. Hope you enjoy his game. Hope you learn a lot from it. I know I did. Now, obviously, I should point out that nothing unusual happens in the opening. We've got 4-4 from our professional 3-dan. We've got 4-4 from the 4-dan as well. Now, this game actually was picked because it surprised me. And the reason why it surprised me is because I thought I knew how the game was going to end, and then it didn't end that way. And those kind of games are definitely ones that I want to pay attention to, because it means that I didn't have either the creativity or the reading to imagine the game changing any way that it possibly could have, that I saw it currently on the board. And I'll be pointing that out to you as well. But right now we got mirror openings. Thankfully, we're not going to suddenly turn into, mirror Chinese, something strange like that. Black could, in fact, put down a kind of framework if he wants to. He could approach, probably this one. Really wouldn't see an approach on a 4-4 either direction, simply because we have our lovely 3-4 stone here. And if you know anything about the opening, 3-4 stones take priority over 4-4 stones, either your own or your opponent's. And in this case, we are in fact seeing an approach on opponent's stone. Black decides gonna worry about what his opponent's doing, take the fight to him immediately, and White says, you know what, that's a really great thing to do. I'm gonna have me some of that. So right away we have an approach, not an overplay. Because keep in mind, if you follow up here, for example, your opponent can do similar. And still a fairly straightforward opening, right? I mean, looks like you're going for some influence, maybe, versus for some territory. Could be a game, A game of who can count better. So if you're ever facing me in a tournament or something, you know that my counting is a weakness, just start ignoring me. Eventually, I'll screw up what's bigger and you'll take the lead. Not sure why I said that this close to Go Conquest, but hey, what's the worst that can happen? Black, on the other hand, decides not to go that route, and he says, I'm going to take myself some territory. And White says, that is fine by me. Not gonna play anything crazy like going into a descent with maybe an avalanche. Just playing nice simple moves that every last one of us have played 500 times before at least. Alright. Tiger's Mouth. Seeing that a lot lately too. Should point out you might hear a slight fan in the background. What can I say? It's getting warmer out. Fans are going to be there. Now, usually we would follow this up with the completion of the Joseki here. But keep in mind, we open up aggressive. Because black tile, this isn't aggressive enough. Just playing Joseki. So he decides to approach again. Now we're getting aggressive. White also opened up aggressive. He ignored the approach to approach again. However, where we could just play for mindless aggression, a move such as this, and just say to ourselves, okay, we're going to fight, White decides to back off and instead say, well, you know what? If I'm strong there, I mean, you owe me moves somewhere in here because you don't want me to pincer, right? And you owe me moves here because you don't want me to enclose this as well, do you? So this is actually being pretty good. This is a nice strong move. It says I'm going to probably get this or this. We'll see what happens. What is white going to do? What is black going to do? We do not know. So normally we would think to ourselves, alright, maybe we need to get some kind of base on in here, but black tide's going to treat these stones nice and lightly. Because there's plenty of ways to live. I mean, we can lean on here if we want. We can still get a base on either side. There's still corner stuff. We can do that. Or we can just flat out attach. So we're not in any danger even if we are pincered. It's a bit more annoying, but whatever. But instead of worrying about himself, he's worrying about his opponent. He's aggressive. He's a young, aggressive player, and he decides, your best move is my move. Congratulations, we are in the Go Proverbs now. So he takes away the extension. And now this board is rightly complicated. We've got stuff on the side we can do. We've got a pincer going on the other one. Just like, oh my god, what are we doing? What are we doing? White has to decide what's important. What are you going to do? What would you do? Because this is a pretty interesting scenario. I mean, you could decide, I'm going to attack that which is attacking me. And then you'd be weird because, seriously, this really is under attack. You could decide to counterattack your opponent. But since we have kind of, gone ahead and made this into an actual group, it's not just, two stones that are relaxing that we can play lightly. We've gone all in on this group. We can't just give it up lightly. Besides, that's an important group. Gotta save, and our base is gone. We can't really play too lightly there anymore, so we got some with that group, so we're gonna follow up. Bam, we're following up. Black says, I don't care. All you can do to me right now is, whoops, I actually want a white stone, not a black stone. Most you can do to me is play here, but we just drop down, and we're fine. So, alright, we're gonna lean, build up. White responds, because we don't want our stone to get killed. Black hasn't earned the corner, just because he's crazy and aggressive, and probably rabid. Might want to check that out. If his opponent just gets tired of all this aggression and punches him in the face, it's not because he's just being mean, it's just that he needs a blood sample to check for rabies, right? That's all he's doing. Got his best interest at heart. So, this is an interesting move. This move here says you're willing to let black come back into the corner and settle. If you don't play this and you play here instead, you say that you're not allowed to play back here because you can picture right now, I'm not going to play black's moves, but you can picture right now, for example. Okay, I lied, I am playing black's moves. If we were to block all of this, we can't descend anymore as black now, right? Because there's no capture here. There's no push. If this was here instead, we can go ahead and push, and then when we drop down, after white blocks, of course, then when we drop down, we're threatening a whole bunch of stuff. So it's rightfully complicated. That's the interesting thing about that little one space jump over there. However, we didn't play that. We played this instead. So get that move out of here. Get all of these moves out of here. Can't play them. Oh my god. Nuclear Tsuji. Holy crap. Okay, that happened. That happened. Oh my god. Quick. Panic. Where do the stones go? You, and you, and you, and you, and... Oh my god, too many. Okay. Nope, we're fine. We're fine. Calm down. Alright. So now we've got that, right? Yeah, we do. So we can do this. White gave us the option. Playing here. Instead, black says, I want the influence. Because we can go develop. So, alright. Developing we shall go. That's how you can tell. I mean, if you, for example, maybe already had something over here, I don't know, that was already resolved and maybe that's when it already lived, then you probably wouldn't play this way. You'd probably go back and be like, I'm just going to chill in that corner and settle, because I don't really see what the influence is going to get me. Unless you're Yisedo, then you can do whatever you want, because, you know, who cares? Or Keji. Keji, oh my god, he beat Gu Li recently. He's another one we keep our eye on. So many young players nowadays. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. So alright, jumping out, or not jumping out, we're extending out. Because we want that influence. Want that influence because we got a side that we can take. Oh yeah. Playing more or less Joseki here. Extending, extending, extending. There we go, still extending. And still extending, because Hane at the head of 2 and 3 stones, you know, we can... It's something that we can do, and since we can do it, then might as well, right? I mean, why not, huh? So alright, we got that. Got that, got that, got that. Hane at the head of 2 and 3 stones mean you can keep extending. Time to create cut points so we can use all of the Aji from this position. Black says, may I take the corner, sir? Because if you decide to go over here, for example, well, then you could just be like, thank you. Because those stones are about to die, so all you can do really is just connect, and then that just gets descended. Now you've taken the corner and a huge wall, and if you're white, just resign, because you screwed up, son. Instead, we're going to go and connect. Now, we could do something as simple as this. We could play this move. White does not want us to Hane here and here, right? The cut and then the Hane, that's pretty big. But black, unfortunately, is a little bit more aggressive than your average player, let me tell you. He's like, you know, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to play there. Yeah, we're going to play there. Let's see if we can get a little bit more out of our opponent. White resists. Black says, alright, now we're going to see if we can't get some cutting action going. White says, my profit. Black says, only after you've proven it. Which I like. I like that a lot. I'm kind of slipping into that habit too now. Nowadays, I'm assuming that my opponent's moves have a lot left over in their position, unless proven otherwise. It's like, yeah, you think you're defended here nicely, but I don't know, are you really? Atari. Connect. Atari. Not giving up. See how aggressive this guy is? Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Atari. Now, it looks like this is turning insane, right? It looks like this has just gone full-on mental. But white is pretty good. He's like, you know what? I'm not taking this lion down. You have Aji in your position too, sir. See these cut points? Yeah, I know they exist. I know they exist. So what are you going to do about it? Because now, if we Atari down, then we have to Atari what? Do he push here? Because we push here, then we can descend safely. That's pretty good for us, right? If we block here for some reason, we're just dead. Because you connect Hane, block, Atari, take, Atari, fill, capture. So that doesn't work. So we Atari this way. Black says, have this, I really want that stone. You have no idea how much I want that. I love that stone. But if that stone's gone, right? If that stone right now is gone, then all we're really doing is playing the Atari of the two stones. If we play the Atari of the two stones, what then? I mean, we could take that, but these two stones have nothing to do with anything else on the board right now, right? So we don't have to respond there. It's kind of Gote. If it's Gote, I'm taking myself a larger point. Black says, you fool, that is not Gote. This is a big move. And technically it's correct. Getting this in for him, look at this. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Like right now, picture a black stone coming up. How does this live? We take this, right? Oh my god, nope, sorry, white stone. We have to take this for ourselves, but that's not, dang it. That's not alive yet. So these two stones are really, really, really big right now for black to take, because it unsettles this entire group. Alright, so we got that away. So we force him to capture this, right? And then we're going to turn. Because we did the Atari, we did the take, and then the turn. A little bit messy, sorry about that. Always happens when the huge clumps of lines bump into each other like that. I think that's about good. So we turn. If white pushes, we're going to block. That's an issue. Ooh, that's an issue. Actually, no, we're not going to block. If white pushes, we're probably going to Atari. And then we're going to cut. So white turns, says, nope, we ain't doing that. Black says, oh, yes, we are. White says, okay, fine. If you want to cut me, you can cut me. But you're going to have some weak stones in the area if you want to do that. which black is completely fine with. Oops. Go ahead and cut. Atari. Semi-Atari. Because we can Atari in one more move. Hence the semi-Atari. Black Atari's first. Go ahead and take. And now this move is interesting. This move is really, really good. Because, I mean, almost every single time I would have just taken. But instead, he's like, you know what? I could, like, go that, couldn't I? I mean, I'm not sure I would have thought about it, because I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go here. He's going to go there. The cut's going to occur. He's going to take. And then I'm going to lose the ko. Because that's just what I do. It's kind of like a specialty, you know? White says I'm going to Atari here first. Before killing you. Black says, well, I'm going to take that stone. White says, have at it. I'm going to attack your one stone then. This little approaching stone from way back when. Which also, keep in mind, we are also dealing with ladders in the immediate area. So this stone can't struggle as long as that ladder's there. So let's take that stone off of there. White gets to follow up. So, wonk, 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 wonk. We just got to hurt that stone. Got to keep our corner. So, White's not doing too bad. There's a slight issue with this group over here. Because that stone shouldn't be on the board. Oops. I forgot to take that one off after the sequence. Sorry about that, people. You knew it wasn't there. You knew it wasn't there. First game on a real board in a while. Okay? Cut me some slack. We'll get better at this. We'll get better at this. Now, the ultimate irony, of course. This is how I realized that stone shouldn't be there. Because that's Black's next move. That is a really, really big move. That's an enormous move. So yeah, we got to play that. Finally. As we all knew. We all before now, looking at this board, we somehow knew that stone was there, didn't we? We could just see it in our heads. That stone was always there. Have to get out because we can't make eyes local. Black says that's fine. Go after the one stone. I can surround you. It's like, well, I kind of have to. I need to not die, huh? Now this exchange is really kind of cool. Because what we have here is White playing the Hane, because he doesn't want to just try and live with two dinky little eyes. He wants to break out as well. So we play the Hane. Black gets to Atari. And here we see them both just refusing to give in and just take something simply. It's like, this stone is mine. Like, alright, if that stone is yours, then I'm going to Atari my way out of here. I'm making a break for it. Oops, sorry. Got ahead of myself. Push first to create cut points. As you do. And now we can? Yeah, I thought so. Pushing again. But Black decides that wasn't exactly Sente, so I'm going to cut you. Just keep in mind, this group is now in a lot of trouble. Right? And since this has an eye, this isn't in trouble because we can make an eye right here. So, if this group's dead, or these two stones are dead, doesn't matter because this won't die. But these will when this has nowhere to go. So White says, alright, good call. Black says thank you. I'm going to connect. Threaten to ladder. Black says no. And this is also an area where you don't want to get cute. Some people are like, well, I'm going to push once, but then the Hane sacrifice, and then that stone gets hurt. Some people are like, I'm going to get cute. But then again, same thing. We're undercutting our own stone. That's now a ladder. Getting to go back and take that anyway, but we've just hurt our 4/4, so not going to get cute. We're just killing off that stupid stone. Goes for a net. Net does not work, so we're going to make Tetris shapes to get out of here. Can't play the Atari because, let's face it, we cannot Atari our way to freedom, so we have to back out. Now, these shapes that Black are making aren't the best, right? I mean, this is the number 4, which is somewhat ironic because it has 4 liberties. Interesting shape, interesting shape. Does mean it's time to bugger off. We are now alive. We're out. Sweet. But Black has other things on his mind. Check that out. Isn't this game looking like it's going pretty well for Black right now? I mean, he got some territory, got some influence. There's still like a ton of things he can do down in here. These stones are screwed. This thing is still running for its life. Looking pretty sweet for Black. White has to defend, because if this turns into a black stone, oh my god, you're running again, son. You might lose. I think you might lose. Resign the game. You can't have 2 groups running simultaneously like that. You just can't. You just can't. I don't care who you are. Haley, Lee Sedol, whoever. You have 2 groups running like this, you will die. I'm sorry, you're dead. You are no longer one of the people who are among the living. So, I'm sorry, sir, you have failed. So, even if all of that dies, we cannot omit that stone. Black goes for a kill. Because if he extends, he's surrounded. And if he plays the Hane, there's the cut. All we can do is sack it. Time to sack it. Sacrifice everything, boys. That's all we can do. Play the Atari. Oh, sorry, my bad. My bad, my bad. We don't connect first, because then Black would just be happy. Instead, we actually just go ahead and play here. That gives us a little... Don't play twice! What is with you? You're obsessed with playing twice. There we go. Now do you see what he's aiming at? Now do you see what he's aiming at? Look. Look at what he's doing, man. You see this? You see this huge sacrifice he's performing? Oh my god. Oh my god. Atari for the corner. Take both the stones. And last but not least, connect down up. So, he sacrificed the stones. He sacrificed the stones for a wall. What was looking like it was going to be a very, very easy game for Black is suddenly one that he now has to reduce. There's reductions here that have to be had. Black says, get out of my corner. Black says, you're not invading that. But if you've ever gone into one of my lectures, or maybe even one of my games, you'll know one thing that I've said repeatedly. If all you have to do with a group is not die, no other considerations, like, doesn't have to worry about the amount of territory or influence you're getting in exchange for not dying, there's no other weak groups that you're running up against, all you've got to do is not die. That group probably is not gonna die. So it's time to break in and use all the Aji and not die. Atari. Alright, so let's remove all of these. Remove. Careful. There we go. Did that fairly carefully, didn't we? I think so. And oh crap, it was a capturing stone, like right here, right? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, that looks right. Yeah, and then those were yep, good. Sweet. Alright, so we got stronger walls we possibly can have. And then white decides, you shall not pass. Well, time to get forcing moves. So shoulder, it's pretty forcing move as well. Don't want to ignore our stone being damaged. Don't want to play heavy, so we're going to play lightly. This is a cool move. We're kind of attacking the shape and threatening to split. So we're saying, you know what? We're trying to break this down to a two-group scenario. If we can cut them apart, then half of it will die. That's pretty cool. Extend. Gonna go ahead and play the Hane. And keep this nicely apart. So 2 stones. What do you think? Are even those gonna live? What do you think about this position here? Do you think anything here can live? Play the Atari first. Pretty strong move. Getting shape and threatening to capture. Pretty strong move. And now here's where all of the Aji lies. All of that sweet, sweet Aji. Yum. Gonna go ahead and play the cut. Not because we think for an instant that we can kill anything here, so much as look at the eyes we're starting to develop. Would you look at that? No need for a ko. We now have an eye that our opponent can't do anything about. And if you know your shapes, then congratulations. We got our eyes. We've lived. All that group needed to do was find a way not to die, and it found it. So, that's interesting to me. I mean, on this board, we had something that looked like black was doing amazingly well. Like, just hands down, this is good. Right? There's no coming back from this. I mean, those stones are dead. He was getting the stuff over there. But then the sacrifice made this fourth of the board potentially whites. We had to invade it. It looked like, oh my god, that was impossible to do. But it was actually ridiculously easy. It's like, I'm just going to sacrifice the 2 stones, use the Aji of the sacrifice to just get myself, 2 eyes. Easy peasy. So, that's crazy. We have fighting going well from both players. Black's doing really good fighting. White's not being too aggressive. He's also fighting very, very well. We see amazing life and death taking place. Quick, simple, clean life. Boom, we're done. We see white improvising. It's like, alright, I lost a bunch of stones, but that's fine. I'm just going to sacrifice it and see how much I can get there. Are you beginning to see why both of these players are players you should be keeping your eyes on? These players are amazing. This could be a 9-dan game. Easy. This could be a 9-dan game. They're not there yet, but if you tell me they're playing this well and they're not going to get there, I'm calling you a liar. Let's go back and pincer. This was curious. I think this was probably time. I'm thinking that was probably time Suju. Right? Still exists. Technically. We can play that. Can't connect. Can't try to do sneaky snapback. Co still exists. That's a huge co. Gonna reduce the middle again. Here it feels like black's getting a little bit too complicated though, doesn't it? I mean, he's had some amazing successes in this game. But it seems like he's trying really, really hard. This might as well be a Joseki. It's kind of crazy how this pattern, I mean, this right here could be a 4-4 stone. That's the 3-3, the double approaches. Kind of weird. But because someone wants to fight still. Ever get the feeling something's missing? I bumped a stone, didn't I? I did bump a stone. Maybe I bumped a stone. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I just screwed up. That should be low. Oh, man. So sad. One move off. One move off. Genuine mistake. I apologize for that one. Alright, poking at the cut points. Like I said, not quite used to playing and recording and flipping through variations yet. I do apologize. Trying to defend since we are kind of getting cut here. Yep, we're getting cut. Confirmed, we are cut. Mayday, boys. Time to get some base for ourselves. Can't kill stone. Can't kill group. No, what about this one then? It's like, no, I don't want you to kill this one either, thanks. It's like, are you sure? It's like, yeah, I'm positive. I like my group. But I'd like to connect too if I can. But white does not want that connection to be made, so sorry, we are blocking. It's like, well, how about this? And white says, go for it. This is a huge endgame move. Connect your two living groups up. I don't care. Decides not to and plays here instead because the Atari is also very, very large. Picks up a few more points. White says, hey dude, you didn't live yourself yet, so might want to check that. It's like, okay, I can make 2 eyes easy peasy. Nice and sente. White's like, that's great to hear. I can keep poking you then. White's like, either black's like, yeah, I guess you can. And keep poking. Again, simple divide and conquer. 2 groups didn't connect up. That's their fault. Play the Atari. Gonna go ahead and connect. Ooh, that's messy. That's bad. There we go. Go ahead and make our 2 eyes. But you can see where this is headed. That is an Atari that cannot be allowed to take place, which means 2 stones for us. Yes, thank you very much. Yum, 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 yum. Picking up some more points. The Atari is pretty large. White's like, here we go again. This is pretty large too. The corner's pretty large because it's Sente. So we're picking up some more points. Protecting our potential cut. Bad itty bitty shape point right there. Fighting over all the points. There we go. Extends. Doesn't Atari. Instead connects, because if we push, we can block. If we turn, we can clamp, so we're good. So alright, time to make certain that we're fine. Finally removing the co, because holy crap, that's been so large for both players right now. But this is a telling move. This is a telling move. This is not a move you play when you think you're behind. This is a move that you play when you know you're ahead. Because if you think you're behind and your opponent really wants to go to some weird go, it's like, okay, I'm rather fine with that. Right? I mean, if we were at all uncertain, we would keep this around, because that losing that ko for black could be amazing. But if we think we're pretty well ahead, then we can go and get rid of it. Looking for Aji. White says no Aji here. It's like, alright, I'm just gonna poke on in then. White says, yeah, it's a poke, but you're not going any further. Turn's pretty big, gonna have to not sacrifice, but gonna take some stones to kill that. All we can do is play there. White says no coming in, sorry about that. Making a mess of the stones. White says no cutting me off, thank you very much. Sacrifice that. Gonna go ahead and turn. I think we Atari here, because if we were to Atari here, then if our opponent played there, we'd be less likely inclined to actually give it up. Because like our opponent plays there, we play away, they take. Then we're also threatening to give away another move, another stone rather. If we play here, they could Atari and take it. We don't care, because they have to Atari, take, and Hani for that to grow in terms of sacrifice. Like that's an interesting thing that I note occasionally, because I don't always think about that. I don't always think about that, and it really hurts me a little bit later on, especially if there's a code that breaks out. As it stands, the game is close enough where we're not actually going to ignore the Atari. I'm going to carefully take the stones off the board. No idea where whites went, or yeah, whatever. Black says, alright, I'm going to push forward here. White says that's great, I'm going to Hane. But unfortunately, white is far enough ahead that black resigns. Imagine that. This is a large area. Such a large area. This is also pretty nice too. I never would have expected this variation, this particular board variation, from earlier on when we saw that was just so frigging huge. Like this area had nice over here. There were options for co later on. White at the time only had like a large knight, a 4/4, a large knight, and like 2 stones over there. I think, yeah, this one too, sorry. Also defense of the corner. But from that, White was able to pull off an insane board where he found the exact sacrifice needed to get a large area, an invasion which sealed off the rest of it for territory. And yeah, he wound up ahead. So if you were wondering at all why both of these players are rapidly becoming my new favorites, oh my god. Young players right now are doing so well. These two are doing amazing, and they're only like 15 years old. Keji is already a 9 down. We knew he would get there, but he got there way faster than I thought he would too. And already, in Keji's case, he's already eliminated Guli. He's taken him out. He's already going head-to-head against the top. And I won't be at all surprised if, I don't know, year or 2 down the road, maybe these guys will be right there facing him. Maybe we'll have a tournament one day or semifinals where these two are in it, and then like Keji and Yisidol are also playing for some really friggin' great games. Want to keep your eye on these guys, let me tell you. So I'm glad that my Patreon reached a point where I can bring this series back, so I can bring some of these wonderful friggin' games to your attention. I know I'm benefiting from it. I hope you guys are benefiting from it as well. Sorry about the few mistakes. I've been completely cracked with my camcorder, trying to get it set up and getting the settings all nice and correct, because we're not using the webcam anymore. Yeah, a little bit out of touch, but I'll get them out of the way. Don't you worry about a thing. So we will be doing this at least every other week now. I've got the equipment, we're all set up, no reason not to. Hope to bring more awesome games to your attention. If you like the series, check out my Patreon down below. And yeah, I will see you next time. Take care, everyone.